and to make sure to stay on at the end of the meeting for a group photo. So that's also very important. Please do. So once again, it is my pleasure to kick off today's meeting, a meeting that we at the GFAR Secretariat organize on a regular basis to update you on what we're doing. So it's a meeting that we do with and for GFAR partners, stakeholders, as well as resource partners. GFAR Progress and Prospect meetings aim at, again, updating you on our work, our project, and our latest initiatives, but also to keep you updated on with regards to our latest developments, such as GFAR's new hosting agreement. Our agenda today is very rich, and I'm sure you will appreciate and you will enjoy the different contributions our speakers will make. Also, we will make sure to answer all of your questions during a final Q&A session at the end of our meeting, during which we will also explore different ways and potential areas of collaboration. Now, it is my pleasure to give the floor to GFAR's Executive Secretary, Hildegard Lingnau, who, together with the GFAR Secretariat team, will provide us with a very concise and clear overview of GFAR's main activities and latest initiatives. Our Executive Secretary will start the PowerPoint presentation, while the rest of the team will introduce themselves as they speak. Hildegard, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Eduardo. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I see we have people joining from all over the world. Amazing. Thanks for being with us for 1 hour to give you an update, to reconnect, and to make sure we can work even better together in the future. I was hoping that our chair would be able to welcome you, but he's currently traveling and obviously not yet able to connect. So maybe he'll join us during the meeting to greet you as well. If we could please start the PowerPoint presentation, and together, not all of us will be speaking, otherwise we will take too much of your time, but we found a way how as many colleagues as possible will have a chance to speak to you and will be introduced so that you can also follow up with them on the different area of their expertise and responsibility. So my pleasure is to introduce the overall GFAiR at a glance. If we can move to, voila, introduction, and the next slide, please. GFAiR is a membership, a multi-stakeholder platform, and I'll come to that in a minute, but here is our history in a nutshell. We are 27 years old, not me personally, but GFAiR, and it was born in 1996. And it was given birth, it was established by FAO, IFAD, CGIAR, and World Bank at the time. And then I skip the many years and the many things that have been done until we reached 2018, where an independent evaluation was undertaken, and we are following up on their recommendations. And to put it in a nutshell, they said if GFAR did not exist, it would have to be created. I think this is a big compliment, and we are very happy about this, and we totally believe in this, of course. After a period of hibernation, which then kicked in for a couple of reasons, we and you see many people who are part of this huge endeavor, try to reboot GFAR and get, especially in the C-funded project that kept us alive, implemented, which we are currently bringing to an end, while looking very much forward to start a new project in February next year, which will be implemented in a new hosting agreement as decided by our steering committee meeting throughout like a year and a half, 7 steering committees, several subcommittee meetings, a whole range of bilateral meetings that an independent expert held with our steering committee members, and who in the end unanimously decided that we should be hosted in by CGIAR in ABC, the Alliance of Biodiversity and SEAT, based here in Rome. We will be called GFAiR, and that's another decision that was taken by the steering committee to reflect what has gone unreflected so far, which is that GFAiR is not only the Global Forum on Agricultural Research, but also on innovation. And instead of adding the I at the very end, we thought it's much nicer to put it just in front for two reasons. First of all, it reads nicely, GFAiR, and it shows that we are driven by values, meaning mainly the SDGs, but also because we, thanks to an innovation survey we did, we know innovation often comes first. It's not that we do research and then throw solutions at problems. We follow a bottom-up approach, very much acknowledging that it's mainly people on the ground who are facing challenges and finding solutions how to tackle them. Next slide, please. The unique role that GFAR is playing is that we are putting the small-scale producers, as I was just saying. Sorry, this is the wrong slide. So from what I see, there is one important we are missing, which is slide number 6, and which is about our unique role. So we aim to make agri-food research innovation system more inclusive, more transparent, more accountable, more efficient, and resilient by putting small-scale producers at the center of what agricultural research and innovation is doing through innovative multi-stakeholder partnerships towards achieving the SDGs. We will see in all detail with the next presentation given by my colleague Karim in a minute. But to stay with the overview picture, I would like you now to see the next slide, in which you can see, and again, we are jumping. I was hoping to see now the slide where we are signing GFAR's new hosting agreement. And you can see GFAR's chair, Dr. Ravi Kekapal, at the left side, and the chair, Professor Dr. Lindibe, from the board chair of the CGIAR. While in the middle you have Juan Lucas Restrepo, the Director Global Partnerships of CGIAR. This was in October in Rabat, where we signed the new hosting agreement, which will start from 1st of February next year. This will help GFAR to fulfill its original mission to complement international agricultural research by incorporating perspectives from the Global South, and especially from the Global NARS, from the NARS system, the National Agricultural Research Systems from the Global South. This is where and when and why GFAR was founded in 1996 at a NARS conference in Egypt at the time. While, of course, we want to continue and will continue, as you can see from our project that is now with EC for approval, continue working as set out in our charter and continue doing what we are famous for, like for our collective actions, and you will hear more about that in a minute. So now we can come to the next slide, please, where you see that we have, we are jumping again backwards. This is it. We are happy to be a multi-stakeholder platform, as I said earlier on. We have now more than 1,000 people institutions who want to be with GFAR. We are currently validating them, as we always do. So that's why we mention here the 900 members that have been validated. They come from 13 constituencies. If I may just mention 2 of them, and these are the ones that are put in bold letters, farmers and farmers organizations, as you have, as I mentioned before, and then also the regional fora of agricultural research and innovation. But we are super happy, and that is what makes a multi-stakeholder platform, what makes collective action. We bring together all the constituencies that are interested in the transformation of the agri-food system, as you see here. On the next slide, you see the names of the regional fora, and I'm happy to see some of you being with us. I saw the executive secretary of Aranina. I can't see all the list of participants now, but welcome to our colleagues from the regions. This is the main setup, and we want to have it even more explicitly working to make the voices of the national agricultural research systems work. That's why we have been entrusted to establish a Global NARS Consortium, and we will launch it. We work relentlessly with the regional fora to launch it in June next year. We are working with a whole range of farmers associations as well, and same for the other constituencies. But since this is not necessarily structured the same way. I leave it with this presentation on the regional fora for agricultural research and innovation on this slide. But on the next slide, you'll see that with our comparative advantages, this is the green line on top of this slide, you see that how we implement our mission, and that we are closely working with the regional networks that you have just seen, working as an apex organization for them and with them, who represent the NARS. This is the next line, but we need to have them, better represented, and this is what we are currently busy doing. GFAiR is, of course, doing international agricultural research, and we are very happy that we will hopefully be able to not only contribute our partnership principles that have already been taken up in the engagement framework, the new or upcoming engagement framework, it's still a draft, I guess, by GFAiR, but also to bring the NARS, the National Agricultural Researchers from the Global South, into GFAiR research initiatives in the future. And then you see FAO and IFAD, they certainly don't need an introduction. We are working with FAO on policies and with IFAD on knowledge, data, and evidence. We hope to be able to contribute to the Farmer Forum, Farmers Fora, and many other joint activities in the future. And with this, I would like to conclude my overview and hand over to my colleague Karim Hussein to speak about the concrete work we are doing, collective actions, emerging initiatives, and the Global NARS Consortium in more detail. And we are happy to hear any comments, any questions from you at the end of our presentation. Thank you very much.
So, thank you. Good afternoon. I am Karim Hussein, Strategic Advisor at GFAR, and it's my pleasure to present GFAR's main areas of work and thematic focus areas now. Next slide. Yeah, please. The GFAR's work is organized into several key priority areas, and the first I would mention is collective actions. The second, emerging initiatives, where issues have been identified that the GFAR and its community would add value engaging in. And the establishment of the Global NARS Consortium, the GNC, which Hildegard mentioned a minute ago. So the collective actions are characterized by being multi-stakeholder, inclusive, and demand-driven processes, in which priorities are identified together with other actors in multi-stakeholder dialogues. They're initiated and co-managed by 3 or more members of GFAR, always including small-scale producers and their representatives. They are innovative partnership mechanisms in which the diverse members commit and generate resources to work together, implementing all of these activities through and with using partnership principles, which have been developed and have been shared widely. They're available on GFAR's website. And thirdly, facilitation. The GFAR Secretariat catalyzes and facilitates and provides, possibly in some cases, possible seed funding for new activities or areas of action. Next slide, please. There are currently 5 collective actions being undertaken under the umbrella of GFAR. The first is the collective action on forgotten foods, which focuses on empowering small-scale farmers to be key actors in the governance of research to develop family farmer value chains. The second, the collective action on family farming and participatory research, which seeks to promote participatory frameworks to engage family farmers as co-innovators in the entire research cycle. Then there's a collective action on land tenure and climate change, which focuses on mainstreaming land rights of the rural poor in the climate discourse and including them in climate policy making. We also have a collective action on inclusive digital agriculture, which seeks to empower small-scale farmers as key actors and co-innovators in the design and governance of digital solutions. And last but not least, collective action, there's the collective action on transformational learning and higher education transformation. This focuses on transforming formal higher education systems in agriculture to match the new skills required for co-innovation and co-research processes. Next slide, please. In addition to these established collective actions, there are a couple of emerging initiatives which may turn into collective actions over time. The first I want to mention is agroecology, which is becoming increasingly a priority approach to farming in conjunction with other approaches such as conservation agriculture. And our focus began with a webinar earlier in the year focused on soil fertility and sustainability. And then there's a coalition of actors within GFAR who are working with the Agroecology Coalition, with our regional fora, in order to advance different approaches to soil fertility and sustainability. And we have become a member of the Agroecology Coalition and are participating in in several of its key working groups. The second area of emerging initiatives that I want to highlight here is the work to support the implementation of United Nations Food Systems Summit National Pathways. This also emerged from a webinar that we co-organized with the Coordination Hub for the UN Food Systems Summit follow-up. And from there, we have contributed to the to the stock-taking moment that was held in the summer by the Coordination Hub. And then we engaged with our regional fora and members to contribute to the development of national pathways and to keep that going through the process of developing and implementing the national pathways. Next slide, please. And then we come to the Global National Agricultural Research System Consortium, the GNC, which Hildegard already mentioned. In the follow-up to the CGIAR's high-level advisory panel report, the regional fora of GFAR entrusted GFAR with establishing a GNC to enhance the voice and capacities of NARS across the globe. A GNC declaration was signed in Bangkok in March 2023, and it's available on our website. Since then, we've been working to identify and categorize NARS in each region in close collaboration with GFAR regional fora and with the support now of several regional specialists in 5 regions in order to work towards a global event in mid-2024 that will gather together National Agricultural Research System representatives and the GFAR regional fora and other actors to formally launch the GNC. We're making rapid progress in the identification and validation of key national agricultural research systems, and we're undertaking detailed information gathering with the help of the regional fora and the regional specialists that I mentioned. And we're working to explain and share the benefits of the GNC and engaging further in the GNC as it is implemented. Now, Tommaso will present GFAR's ways of working. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Karim. Thanks a lot for your presentation. So, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Tommaso Tetti. I'm working as a partnerships and resource mobilization specialist in GFAR. So I'm now going through an overview of how we work. So not like the areas, the topics that Karim and Hildegard presented before, but the way we engage with you. The way we work with you, partners, members, stakeholders, and funders. So this is what we are looking now: partnership principle, membership and engagement, resource mobilization and partnerships, and our MEL system, monitoring and evaluation and learning. Of course, for each of these, let's say, areas, we do have among our team each staff in charge of each of this area, and we remain available later to address any comment. And on top of it, on our website, you also have dedicated sections to gather more information on each of these areas, and we invite you to also to look at our website. Let me start by mentioning the partnership principles. For those of you who are familiar with GFAR, you know very well these principles that were developed in collaboration with the Swiss Academy of Science, with the objective of assessing the quality of multi-stakeholder partnerships. So why we developed these partnership principles? First of all, as explained also before by in the presentation, as you know, GFAR is not a research entity per se, so we don't do research, but we want to ensure that the research is done by involving all key stakeholders, and in particular small-scale producers, but not only. We saw the presentation with all our constituencies. And as you know, all the agricultural innovation systems are made of a vast array of actors. And in order to face complex problems, all these actors have to operate in synergy to best generate solutions that are adoptable by small-scale producers in real life. So the partnership principles are really meant to ensure the quality of multi-stakeholder research partnership for enhancing the impact of the research actions. How we use the partnership principle? Well, in GFAR, we first of all use and adopt them in developing our collective actions. So our collective action are developed by using the partnership principles, but not only, because we also want to promote such partnership principles as an international, global standards to be used also in and by other international organizations and projects. And now, in particular, that will be hosted in CGR, this principle will be taken up by CGR in its draft engagement framework. As said in the website, in our website, you also have additional information and the list of all the principles. Now, I just wanted to give an overview of the membership and engagement. Again, here we also have our colleagues in charge of specific areas. Eduardo, for example, our facilitator, is in charge of the GFAiR hub. So membership and engagement is how we engage with you, with members, partners, and funders. And we have three main areas, I would say. Well, first of all, and this is an update, a new element of GFAR, is the GFAR or GFAiR hub. So, which is a new membership engagement platform which is designed for you, for GFAR members, funders, partners, and more in general, all stakeholders or friend of GFAR, as we call you. And this is needed to for you to connect, share, learn, decide, and co-create. So the platform, of course, is open and welcomes all organizations who wants to share information and knowledge and to connect. It is mainly organized and composed of three main spaces. The Knowledge and Learning Hub, which is an area for collective learning, so for sharing, reflection, and collective learning. A second area, which is the Action Space, which is an area mainly dedicated for members to initiate and drive and implement GFAR collective actions. And then we also have a third space, which is the governance space, that, as the name suggests, is a forum for members to participate actively in the GFAR strategy. So it's mainly concerned the governance area. Then a second area of our membership and engagement strategy is the GFAR and GFAiR talks and webinars. Well, for example, this is an example today. We have this meeting also to inform you about our recent updates. We are presenting this to foster collaboration and to also invite funders to participate in our activity. We have the GFAR talks, which are a series of webinars to engage members and stakeholders in specific and, I would say, strategic and dialogues and debates on specific topics on agri-food system that you also as members you raise and you decide to focus on. Normally the GFAR talks are needed to promote and provide support for our collective actions, but we are open to, again, to hear members and partners, not only expert and opinion makers, but also farmers, women association, indigenous association, and other marginalized communities that have the possibility to raise issues and stimulate a debate during such talks, such webinars. And then to conclude this part on our membership, as you know, and as it was presented before, GFAR has around 900 members, and my colleague Fernando is also validating new members. I think we are now reaching 1,000 members soon, and is particularly involved now in the identification of NARS, which is needed for the Global NARS Consortium. Then I want to mention the partnerships and resource mobilization, which is my area. And I wanted to, let's say, organize this update to you in three main areas, because what we do on resource mobilization is, first of all, for the Secretariat to ensure sustainability of resources for GFAR, to have the possibility to support new initiatives. As you know, we also provide seeds funding to implement our current collective actions. And we give the possibility to funders to support financially, so through projects and financial contributions, but also technically, for example, by the provision of technical staff, but also in kind. For example, to support us with the logistics of conferences and then webinars and other type of support. But we are not only doing that for the Secretariat, but also for the members and or for local actions, as we mentioned here. So in fact, GFAR act also as a broker in fundraising activities. In many cases, we link funders to our members when the members have to develop local actions at local levels. But also, we also want to support members and partners in developing the follow-up phases of our collective actions. As you might know, during these years and this project, we have developed some collective actions that are now entering in a second stage for activities to be implemented at regional and national level. And this is up to the GFAR partners then to implement them, and we support them in raising funds through potential resource partners. And then the third part is on partnerships, of course, not only with our co-facilitating agencies such as FAO, IFAD, and now CGR, but also with other international organizations or private sector associations to exploit synergies among us. And then the last part of these ways of working is represented by the MEL. So the monitoring, evaluation, and learning. And our colleague Mary-Jo is here and can provide additional details on this later if you need. And this MEL system comes from the independent evaluation conducted in 2018, mainly to capitalize and learn from GFAR collective actions, but also to adopt new ways for documenting, sharing, and learning. We use the MEL system also to report to our funders and to adapt our theory of change. With this, I conclude my presentation and GFAR presentation in general. This is a QR code in case you want to link with our website and social media. And I give back the floor to Eduardo to follow with our next speakers. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Tommaso. Thank you very much for the exhaustive and very interesting PowerPoint presentation. And thank you very much for the key updates. It was very interesting, and I hope the participants enjoyed. So now I would like to give the floor to Laura Lorenzo, Director of the World Rural Forum, a key GFAR partner, who will share with us what GFAR's activities mean and how they are reflected in the work of farmers' organizations. We talked a lot about farmers' organization, and this is a great testimony. But she will also talk about to what extent members are involved in GFAR's work, especially in its collective actions that, again, we mentioned during our presentation, and we also talk about it very often, and how both regional and national actors benefit from GFAR. Laura, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the invitation, for being here. We are very proud to be a member of GFAR. Let me introduce myself first. I'm Laura. I'm the director of the World Rural Forum, and we are a network of farmers organizations, but also some other cooperatives and NGOs and even some research institutes are members of our network. No, we represent 35 million of family farmers around the world, and we work in 100 countries. So we wish to share what are the main aspect of collaboration with GFAR. And it is very simple to summarize. No, we are trying together with GFAR to promote participatory research. What does it means? For us, it means a real collaboration, a partnership during all the cycle of research, a collaboration between the different actors, especially for sure family farmers organizations, research institutes, but also some other actors such as governments at different levels and donors. And GFAR is the best place for trying to promote this type of collaboration. No? One of the main ideas that our members, the farmers organizations that belong to the World Rural Forum, is in permanently highlighting is that farmers are not recipients and we as farmers are agents of change, no? And this is something that we are trying to promote throughout the network, the extensive network of GFAR, no? We consider, and I'm sure that GFAR is also so that family farmers are able to lead the transformation of food systems that that is needed nowadays. No, they are able to bring proposals to the decision-making process. They are crucial part of the research processes and co-innovation. No, we have been working a lot in collective action that I will explain a little bit, but we have seen there in these collective actions that family farmers are even able to lead some research that can scale up the traditional knowledge. No. We think, and this is something that we are trying to scale up and to spread throughout GFAR, that family farmers should be in the center of all the cycle of research, no? From the definition of the objective of the research, participate for sure in the research. They are connected with the territory, so they are in the best position to implement the research, the result of the research, and for sure they are connected, or at least they are advocating with the government, so they can promote specific public policies connected with the result of the research. No, that is the reason to develop GFAR collective actions of participatory research and co-innovation. No, we needed to define the principles of this collective action, of this participatory research. We need to collect some good experience. We need to show them. We need to capture what are the lessons learned and stimulate the change among different research experiences. And we did this throughout very small amount of resources. We called seed funds to have concrete examples of what does participatory research means, no, in the practical way. I can share some communication materials about that, but now I wish to share some of the lessons learned that we have learned throughout this experience last year. No, one of my main messages is about impact and sustainable solutions. If we promote participatory research, if farmers are able to orient research, if they are since the beginning in the process of research, we will ensure higher impact, because of course research will be based in the local needs and linked to grassroots level solutions that can easily implement as a in a wider way. No, other message is about empowerment. We have spent a lot of years in the World Front trying to empower farmers' organizations. If we ensure that farmers' organizations are engaged in the research processes, we will foster a sense of ownership for farmers' organizations, and we will enable them to address their specific agriculture challenges. Another message that we wish to share with you today is that it is very important to promote the exchange of knowledge and expertise between research and farmers, and GFAR is a good place to do that. No, we need to enable a collaborative environment that can link traditional knowledge with modern scientific innovations that are more effective in nowadays, with the actual challenges. I am going to finalize, don't worry, but I need to also speak about how can really promote a collaborative partnership that can scale up, no, influence policy that really support family farmers, leading positive and higher impact at local and global agriculture systems. In this sense, my main message will be that we are trying throughout GFAR to ensure that all the research institutes trust in the capacity of family farmers organization. This is very important for us. And there is an enormous opportunity of promoting this type of research and innovation based on good experiences already identified. And we need to connect participatory research and co-innovation with current global challenges, including climate resilience and sustainable food systems. I think in the presentation that is already in the next phase of GFAR. And also I will add to connect with the UN Decade on Family Farming that we are in this decade, no? That is the spirit that we are promoting in the Global Conference on Family Farming that we will organize next March 2024, and where we will have a specific session on participatory research and co-innovation processes for sustainable food production and climate change adaptation. We wish to invite all of you to this conference, and we wish to bring this idea of partnership. No, we wish to bring GFAR steering committee to this global conference to organize there in Spain in order to maximize the collaboration and the partnership. That is how we are working with the GFAR team, with Hildegard, Karim, and all this great team. Back to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you very much for the stimulating remarks. Indeed, it's food for thought. So we heard from our brilliant speakers. We touched different topics. We saw a PowerPoint presentation, GFAR at a glance. So with this in mind, I would like to kick off our final Q&A session. And I would like to open the floor to additional questions and clarifications. Our experts, as we mentioned in the chat, as Hildegard mentioned in the chat, our experts are here and are ready and stand ready to reply, to answer to all of your questions. Please feel free to raise your hand and just jump in and start talking and asking the question directly, or use the Q&A feature, or write your question in the chat. I already see that we have a couple of questions in the Q&A chat, in the Q&A section. I would like to start with those. The first question from one of our participants says, what has GFAR accomplished in its 27 years? Promoting greater support to the NARS was a key objective. Have the NARS generally progressed over this time? So I believe the best candidate and to answer this question would be our expert, Karim Hussein, strategic advisor. Karim, please go ahead. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Eduardo. Yes, this is an important question. And I would say what we can observe is that many NARS have progressed much over the years, and several are very well resourced, both in human and financial terms. But it's a very uneven picture across regions, and some have suffered a lot through structural adjustment, through budget cuts, and so on, so that their capacities are limited, or have been limited, and it's been taken the limitations on research for agriculture, limitations on funding for agricultural research have had an impact over the longer term in many countries. What GFAR has done in the past and up to now has, through its regional fora provided a space for national agricultural research systems to exchange, to share their work and to share progress in their regions. But as I said, it's an uneven picture because it depends very much on the resources made available to the national agricultural research systems and their capacity to attract resources from outside as well as inside the country. But the regional fora in GFAR recognized the continuing need for an enhanced focus on the capacity strengthening and resource strengthening of national agricultural research systems as they continue to face challenges regarding their voice in international development debates and regarding their access to finances and human capital. That's the best human capital that they can use to strengthen their research programs. And what the GNC will help to address is these specific issues through collaboration will help national agricultural research systems have a stronger combined voice for national agricultural research systems in development policies at the global level and programs at the national level or the continental level, providing key links to national and subnational levels in agriculture and agricultural research and practice, both on policies, as I said, but also linking with other stakeholders and strengthening research and extension and farmers' organization linkages, for example, and linkages with the private sector. What we're doing at the moment in the establishment of the GNC, conducting a survey to understand the different actors in national agricultural research systems and the validation process of national agricultural research systems, will support this process of strengthening NARS. And GFAR is carrying this out with the support or in support of the GFAR regional fora. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Karim. I would like to invite you to stay on because we just got another question, which is from Maishar Gimire. I hope I said your name correctly, who is asking, he would like to know about the position or thematic areas of GFAR in the areas of organic, sustainable, regenerative agriculture, if these are contributing to the health of people and planet as well as family farming. And then he has a question for you, Karim, about the thematic areas of GFAR beside having, what you have shared on the areas of micro to macro level trade and competitiveness, because income is a crucial factor for all farmers. I will paste, since the question is long, I will paste it in the chat for everybody to see. So Karim, you can read it with a bit more of time and go ahead and reply and answer. Thank you. In the meantime, can I invite everybody to use the Q&A feature as Maishwar and Dick Tinsley did? Thank you, so that we have all the questions here for us to answer. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Firstly, GFAR doesn't have a position, I would say, on the thematic areas that are mentioned: organic, sustainable, regenerative agriculture. All of them can be important in different contexts, and for as the questioner asked, and important for people's health and the planet, as well as for family farming. But care has to be taken to ensure that the approaches are developed in a way that is going to generate equitable outcomes. And while not excluding anything at all, we've been trying to understand and collaborating with institutions that work on promoting regenerative agriculture, as well as agroecology, and agroecological approaches, as I've mentioned. They're not necessarily mutually exclusive, and there are elements in both that are very important. And this came out in one of the recent GFAR talks that we organized, which had a representative, the senior advisor to the Agroecology Coalition, talking and exchanging ideas with somebody representing the perspectives of regenerative agriculture. And it really shined a light on the differences and the complementarities between the two. So you can find that GFAR talk on our website, and it's quite lengthy, so I won't go into all the details here, but it's very well worth listening to those two perspectives, and we expect that debate to widen and to broaden, to cover these other areas as well. And GFAR is a platform to enable that kind of constructive debate and exchange to produce good outcomes for family farmers and small-scale producers as our ultimate aim. The second area, trade and competitiveness, we are not in the Secretariat, we're not doing anything particular on trade and competitiveness. However, of course, it's a critical issue in the regions, and partners in the regions, including, for example, Africa, in Africa, in FARA, are working closely with governments and continental bodies on free trade agreements and the implications for agriculture. That's the one I would mention, the FARA one, but in other regions as well. And partners and members of GFAR may be working in other areas that cover trade and competitiveness issues. And perhaps if anybody wants to share their perspective at this point, that would be helpful.
Thank you, Karim. I'm afraid I have to stop you there because we're running out of time. Let me apologize to Dick Tinsley, who also asked a question in the QA chat, but I'm afraid we don't have time to answer that right now. But I'm sure that Karim will and our other experts will also address your question and get in touch with you. You can also write to us at the GFAR Secretariat mailbox or individually at our personal emails. I would like to take this opportunity to, first of all, welcome our GFAR chair, Dr. Ravi Kottarpal, who joined us. And I would like to give the floor to him for his closing remarks. Ravi, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Eduardo. Thank you so much. Greetings, everyone. And apologies for joining a bit late. I was traveling from Dhaka to Bangkok and reached a bit late. And thanks, Eva, for sending the link. Okay, well,
joining us.
I've been hearing each and every speakers. The speakers means here the key performance of GFAR, and I'm really impressed. For those who are not from the Secretariat, let me say, whatever Hildegard and her team has achieved, all which has been presented in the last 50 minutes, this is a work of 2 to 3 years. It is not the work which was done in GFAR over the last few decades. You look at any collective actions, you look at the emerging issues, look at the new partnerships, Global NARS Consortium, look at the partnership principles or the efforts on monitoring, evaluation, and learning, resource mobilization, and membership engagement, and so on. All this has been done in the last 2 to 3 years. This is a very important message I would like to give. And I would say kudos to, or bravo to all the GFAR staff here who had been hyperactive, superactive, and they could make it happen. Now, Hildegard, as you all know, has been actively engaged at a very strategic level, where we had been trying to find a new home for GFAR. And I know the struggle she has undergone, and eventually now we have our home in GFAiR. Not to underscore the importance of IFAD and FAO and who all have actually established GFAR long back. Now, at the strategic level, we have, which becomes operational at the same time, are the global agendas that GFAR is taking up, like what Karim has mentioned, what Laura has mentioned on participatory research, these are all very strategic level interventions of GFAR, be it on agroecology, be it on family farming, what Laura has mentioned on the participatory research, or be it the any upcoming field like on the transformation learning of higher education. So these are very, very crucial points for GFAR to move ahead. I won't take much time. I see in my watch here 1 minute left for me to finish in time. I would just say what next for GFAR, in my view, which of course we will decide collectively. Number one is we have come a long way in the last 3 years, and we are doing everything to put GFAR house in order. Though our house itself is changing to other location, that is a different issue. We need a clear partnership mapping now. Partnership mapping will be from the members, where we need to see what kind of partners we have who are really more focused on the research agendas, on the participatory research, on the bottom-up approach for the farmers. Who are the key partners we need to map out? Right now we have everything, but all built in a scattered form. This mapping will make our efforts more cohesive. Secondly, we have to be now syncing with CGIAR, not syncing SINKING, is SYNCING. That sync with CGIAR needs to be formed, where syncing will be very, very crucial for us, where we can support CGIAR. Already we are there with the engagement framework and partnership principles and all. And here we would like to get support from each and every member of GFAR, many of whom are beneficiary of CGIAR activities right now. One area which we have yet not addressed, we will see how we can do, maybe very partially we have done, that is on the policy space. Policy space is so crucial to make things happen. GFAR is definitely local to global, which is a beauty of GFAR. And however, to make things sustainable, and Laura mentioned about the sustainable solutions. I mean, in that context, I am saying it may be linked with that or not. I think the policy space is very crucial, be it for the farmers' approach, be it for the researchers' approach, be it for the development workers' approach, be it from the value chain approach. There are a lot of policy issues which are yet not being properly addressed by FAO or IFAD or many other agencies we know. And we are struggling for that, and policy is very, very crucial. GFAR can really do something unique there. And on the partnership, again, I'll come back to partnership. I think the GFAR's recent strengthening of partnership with the regional agriculture research network like Arinina or APARI or FARA and so on. I think here we need to have a very, very strong approach forward to see that we as regional network engage with GFAR or GFAR engages with them, best case if both happens. That engagement on either side is very, very crucial, and we both have to show the initiative, be it GFAR Secretariat or be it the regional network secretariat. I think that needs a special mention in the coming years. And the efforts which are being done now, which Tommaso has initiated on the resource mobilization, I think that is very, very crucial. If we really have to be sustainable, survive, and we cannot only bank upon European Commission's support forever. And gradually we have to be independent, we have to have more resources, more partnership. And eventually, I think somewhere right now we will get the flavor, color, legal color of the CGIAR in GFAR, but gradually what we are discussing with Hildegard, gradually we will move for our own legal status in the long run. So since time is over, I have exceeded, I believe, 3 minutes. I would like to stop here. What I would like to say is GFAR is of all of us, and it is we others, apart from Secretariat, who make GFAR. Hats off to Secretariat, who are catalysts, who make it run, who have shown excellent performance in the last 3 years. That's how we could progress a lot, both at the strategic and at the operational level. With this, I would like to thank GFAR Secretariat, Hildegard, and Tommaso, and Fernando, and